on your agenda. Paul, welcome.
Thank you. So page 73. So we have a couple of Part A's. The first one is pretty straightforward, I'm sure you agree. The board recommends to council that it includes in the public notification of council and community board meetings a welcome to the public to attend with phone contact details to arrange speaking rights at all meetings so notified. So at the moment there's just a general number, and it's not very welcoming. I think we want to be encouraging. Make it easy. Yep.
Sorry. This one. In the public notification of council and community board meetings, there's a welcome for the public to attend with phone contact details.
We'll make the advert more welcoming. There'll be one place to go to get the contact.
I think personally, I think that that each community board advisor should have the number under each of the community board meetings. Yep.
Do you just want to say instead of phone contact details, just contact details? Because I think an email would be make sense to a lot of people as well.
Yep.
Fine. Well, no, we are worrying the unit is both.
Oh, both. Yeah.
Tim, seconded Phil. I'll put that. Those in favour, please say aye. Those opposed, carried. Part B. I'll put that. Moved Phil, seconded Tim. Those in favour, please say aye. Those opposed, carried. Did I get you guys to move the report as a whole? If I didn't, it was Scandrick and Clearwater. That the report as a whole be adopted. Those in favour, please say aye. Those opposed, carried. Your next one, Paul?
So the next one on page 79, we a couple of matters. So first one is operationally redundant property on 1 Carlisle Street. So as part of the Sydenham Master Plan, this is scheduled to be disposed of as in kind of a land swap, and land at 441 Colombo Street has been purchased. The board is concerned that this land should be used in a way that's consistent with the master plan, but I sort of after some offline discussion, I think that a purpose, if this land could be used for a purpose that enhanced the master plan, or an alternative purpose rather than just disposing of it, it is in a pretty strategic location in terms of entrance from the north into Sydenham. So it's I think it would be good to have some alternatives considered.
With that in mind, we should make an amendment, I think, to this, and I agree. I think we can do better than just what is in the. I think the community board, when they considered this, and I was there. In fact, it was sort of like, how do we mitigate this issue of the entrance to Sydenham, so that in fact it does look good and is part of the Sydenham master plan. Given though was that the property be sold. And I think what would be helpful though is if some other alternatives as to how we could use this very small piece of land, if in fact they were carefully considered. And my suggestion would be that the community board reconsider them. So I'd propose an amendment that way.
You could have had fanfare.
Well, I'll move that the community board reconsider the original report and including alternative use of the property.
It is like in the entrance to Sydenham, but it's hidden by the bridge. I mean, it's tucked underneath the corner of the bridge. It's really not what I'd call actually a strategic piece of land.
I'd question whether one of the big pieces of information that's missing from this whole debate, and I'm not intending getting into a conversation right now, I think it's a conversation for the board, and that's why I'll be supporting the amendment, around what the strategic use of the land might be, where it might fit with the Sydenham Master Plan. But I do think the piece of information that's missing at this particular time is a valuation of the property, because of course one of the questions has got to be the dollar value of this versus the strategic value of it. And I'm hoping the community board will come up with a strategic fit for the master plan that will have greater social and strategic value than the dollar value of the property. But we almost need to have that valuation in order to be able to inform that discussion.
The suggestion is to send it back to the community board, but we have a technical hitch in that you've moved the motion, so you can't move an amendment. No, you've both moved and seconded. So I just need somebody else to... Do you want to move the amendment, Andrew?
I'd be happy to move that, yeah.
Is there a seconder for the amendment? Yanni. Okay, thank you, guys. Yep. Is there any other debate, quite quickly? Yanni, and then I'll get a comment, even though I shouldn't.
Just to say, I mean, I think one of the really important things is to see what's happening in Sydney, and I think car parking over time may become an issue, but it seems to me that there could be some temporary uses of this site while Sydenham redevelops. So I think selling it off now is premature, and that's why I'm supporting having a look what can be done in the short term.
I would appreciate it if the council would direct staff to provide advice on possible alternatives. Well, it would be quicker if it was included in this resolution, I think.
Oh, Andrew can.
So I think it's important that the correct staff advice is there. There's no question about that. So there needs to be staff advice and support. And I mean, I'm suggesting that a land valuation is a part of that. But also I think it's important when we're saying an alternative use of the property, that alternative use is in alignment with the outcomes expected from the Sydenham Master Plan. So it needs to be aligned with the Sydenham Master Plan.
Yeah.
Can I just suggest that we add at the end with the appropriate staff advice? Okay? Okay, can I put it?
Come on.
No, you've spoken to the motion and the amendment. This better be good because it's breaking all the rules.
Thank you very much. Look, Paul mentioned it's a funny bit of land at the bottom by the bridge, and in the report 3.11 and 3.12 actually supports that. But it is absolutely so important to this business community. Look at the other four corners of this business community. In the south end, we've got the remains of the church. We've got an empty vacant lot that has been there for too long, and at the other end we had the wonderful demolition site for too long, which should never have been allowed to happen. So every little bit is so important to this community, and we've got to give it respect. Especially with 3.1.2, the easements across the land do detract from its value, but if council staff through their process can renegotiate those to make this piece of land more valuable to a proposed buyer who will add value to one of the corners of this community, will be absolutely fantastic. Thank you.
Those in favour, please say aye. Aye. Those opposed? That becomes the motion. Those in favour, please say aye. Those opposed? Carried. Thank you. Item number 2, renaming the beautifully named Councillive Drainage Reserve. I don't think there's any debate on that.
Yeah, passes a staff recommendation, but want to start to approach Ngāi Tahu about having a name that's better than Councillive Drainage Reserve.
Right, this is not a high benchmark. Right, so I'll put that. Those in favour, please say aye. Those opposed? Carried. Sorry, that was moved Tim and seconded Phil. Part B is moved by Phil, seconded Tim. No debate. I'll put those. Those in favour, please say aye. Those opposed? Carried. What have I forgotten?
We haven't got a mover and seconder for that item.
Yeah, we did. We had Phil and Tim. You just weren't keeping up. Yep. Item C, moved Phil, seconded Tim. I'll put that. Those in favour, please say aye. Those opposed? Report as a whole be adopted. Those in favour, please say aye. Those opposed? Carried. If we needed a mover and seconder, it was Phil and Tim. Guys, there is a cup of tea arrived some time ago. It's now 10:56, but I'm going to reconvene this at 11:10. If you're not here, I'll start on your community board. Okay?